created bin Laden? Who created the Taliban? Who created Al-Qaeda? Who created Al-Qaeda? The CIA. The CIA. We created the Mujahideen to fight the Soviets because they had invaded Afghanistan. That was one sovereign nation invading another sovereign nation. What the fuck does the Soviet Union think, that they could just invade Afghanistan? They think that they could just invade a different nation that's not theirs? They think they could just go and occupy a nation that isn't theirs? It bankrupted them. It sunk them. So it was smart. It was a good idea. The CIA financed the Mujahideen. Ronald Reagan gave bin Laden weapons and money. Who created Al-Qaeda? Who created the Taliban? America did.
Criticized the U.S. decision to pull out, branding the justifications behind it as imbecilic.
It's about Tony Blair.
We chose to do it. We did it in obedience to an imbecilic political slogan about ending the forever wars.
We didn't need to do it. We chose to do it. We did it in an obedience to an imbecilic political slogan about ending the forever wars. Are you kidding? I mean, when I heard that rhetoric, the fucking forever wars, I jumped up and down on that motherfucker, and we still, there's still more forever wars to end, right? Well, we got another about 20-something forever wars that we still need to end. But if that was the reason, well, we got to get out of Afghanistan. Why? Well, don't want to be in a forever war. What if the political establishment just said, you know what? I'm okay with the forever war. I'm okay with the forever war. Isn't that the point? Isn't that Orwell? To keep the war, it's not to win or lose, it's to keep the war going nonstop. Always keeping the war going to oppress the population, to, government.
Well, Blair was PM when Britain joined the US to invade Afghanistan in 2001. He added that his country's involvement in the region was not hopeless, despite the Taliban's advance, and that the UK has a moral obligation to stay in the country till the Afghans who need to be are evacuated, as he put it. Okay, well, let's cross live now to journalist and international affairs specialist Richard Medhurst. Welcome back to RT. What do you make of Tony Blair's words, though? The man who helped start the Afghan war, calling the withdrawal by the US imbecilic.
Well, first of all, Tony Blair is a war criminal. So, I don't think anyone is really interested in what he has to say. I think as people have put it on social media, this is like asking a serial killer, why they think the emergency services are not saving their victims fast enough. He calls this slogan about ending forever wars imbecilic, but he's the one who followed George Bush, the laughing stock of the Western world, in 2001, into two wars, both Afghanistan and Iraq, and he's the one who could not finish these wars.
Yeah, talk about an imbecile. Tony Blair looked up to Baby Bush. Tony Blair admired Baby Bush. Tony Blair, the United Kingdom, he put the British respectability, that elegant, that British eloquence, crowned Baby Bush with the Tony Blair, the British eloquence of Tony Blair. So, what the fuck, goddamn Tony Blair? This, Richard Medhurst, this motherfucking beast, Richard Medhurst is 100% correct. Richard Medhurst is a beast, and when he says that Tony Blair is a war criminal, not only is he a war criminal, but Tony Blair criticizing the Afghanistan withdrawal is like a serial killer criticizing the emergency services that they're not picking up their victims fast enough. That's exactly right. That's 100% correct. A serial killer is talking about the EMS isn't picking up the victims fast enough. How are you going to criticize EMS? It wasn't fast enough. It wasn't quick enough. The whole point of the serial killing was endless forever occupation. Forever war? He's against the slogan, or is Tony Blair in favor of the concept forever war? Forever war, this is the project for a new American century, right? So are we an empire that's taken over the world, or are we like in between? We just have military bases, we're working on diplomacy, or are we isolationist? Do any Americans, has all Americans made a decision about where they see themselves in the world? So I want to hear that again. I just want to, Richard Medhurst just fucking knocked that shit out of the fucking park. Yo, Richard, what do you think about this Tony Blair bullshit?
You know, why they think the emergency services are not saving their victims. He has to say, Tony Blair is a war criminal. So, I mean, I don't think anyone is really interested in what he has to say. I think if people put it on social media, this is like asking a serial killer, you know, why they think the emergency services are not saving their victims fast enough. I mean, he calls this slogan about ending forever wars imbecilic, but he's the one who followed George Bush, the laughing stock of the Western world, in 2001, into 2 wars, both Afghanistan and Iraq. And he's the one who could not finish these wars. We're 20 years later now in 2021, and he's still offering excuses.
So, Baby Bush, he was bombing Afghanistan. The Taliban, you know, ran Afghanistan. And apparently they knew Bin Laden or knew where he was at. And, you know, the Bin Laden and the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, they was all kind of, you know, consorting. And but the Taliban knew where Bin Laden was. The bombing had begun. Baby Bush was offered by the Taliban, hey, Baby Bush, you want Bin Laden? We'll give you Bin Laden. And Baby Bush said, no, I don't think so. And they was like, no, seriously, we'll give you Bin Laden. The only thing we want, you know, we'll give you Bin Laden, and we'll give it to a third country, you know, a middle country. But the only thing that we want before we give you Bin Laden is evidence. You say Bin Laden is behind the 9/11 attacks? Okay, give us evidence. Show us evidence that Bin Laden was behind the 9/11 attacks, and then we will give them to you. So, incredible, the United States government was expecting the Taliban to just, you know, fold up and go away without even, hey, we want Bin Laden, okay, here's Bin Laden. That's the only way it seemed like the Taliban could have, yeah, hey, the U.S. government wants, you know, Bin Laden, so shut the fuck up. Taliban just gives them Bin Laden, no questions asked. Is that the only way that would have stopped the U.S. occupation? Because it seemed like Baby Bush was hell-bent on occupation. They were already bombing Afghanistan. The Taliban sitting there trying to offer them an olive branch. We got Bin Laden. Do you want Bin Laden? We'll give you Bin Laden. Baby Bush, are you after Bin Laden? Well, you're gonna wait for Barack Obama to get Bin. You're not gonna get Bin Laden? Because Baby Bush could have got Bin Laden right motherfucking away, right after 9/11. But we need to keep this war going on forever. We need this war going on forever, so we can't hurry up and catch Bin Laden. We need the boogeyman. We need to keep the boogeyman around for a while. And you know, apparently we were told in 2011 that Bin Laden was killed in some kind of raid. But you know, that raid, he's just sitting there, and then they threw him out in the ocean or some shit. So that's what we're told. Which, should we ever believe in that George Carlin's, like, #1 rule? Never believe what the government says. So, there you go. The one last thing that I'll mention, I'll make another video about it, but this 1842, so, you know, this was a tragic day. Over 100 people were killed today. It was said by ISIS, maybe CIA, I don't know. Maybe we should definitely get the fuck out in a year or two, you know. I don't know how bad the Taliban is going to be but the extent, what's the oppressed and the oppressor, the relationship between the oppressed and the oppressor is intimately related. The oppressor can only oppress the oppressed for as long as the oppressed can endure it. Over 16,000 people. The British tried to get out of Kabul. They tried to get out of Kabul in 1842, and then 16,000, almost every single fucking one of them got wiped out. Fucking crazy. And then Soviet Union, they got out. Like 300 Soviets were killed. 300 Soviet troops were killed. It took about 9 months for the Soviets to get out. The British, the Soviets, and then Genghis Khan. That's the last one, right? So what's up with the Genghis Khan? The occupation. It was 1839, and then this is 1842, so 3 years later. And it's kind of, you know, it's not kind of, it's super fucked up, because you have this general, they essentially say, okay, we lost the war, we're going to get the fuck out of here, we're going to go march to the Jalalabad, there was some sort of British garrison or something, they were going to meet up with them there, and as they were doing the march, they were just getting, you know, attacked by, on all sides by the Afghanistan tribesmen. And 16,000, so basically they had like 20,000, 16,000 is going to get killed, so they only had, you know, 4,000 is going to survive that withdrawal. So that was like the worst fucking withdrawal ever. But I feel like it was a withdrawal, but it was kind of like it was a forced withdrawal. They could either stay and get killed, or try to leave and get killed. And they were leaving and getting killed at the same time. So maybe they should have just I don't know. I got mixed. But like fuck, after seeing this, I mean, they really, Jesus Christ. They also called it Elphinstone's massacre, the massacre of Elphinstone's troops or some shit like that. So Genghis Khan, I wonder how did the Afghanistan people kick Genghis Khan out of their country?